Hello everyone and welcome back to another unboxing video at Battlegrounds Game Center. I'm Patrick and today we're going to be taking a look at Sleeping Gods Distant Skies. This is the much anticipated sequel to Sleeping Gods by Ryan Laukat and Red Raven Studios. This was on their GameFound last year and we have just recently received it and all of our retail copies, so they are now available. But we want to go ahead and show you what comes inside this without getting into spoilers because there's a lot of story with this game. And on top of that, we're not only going to be looking at Distant Skies, we're also going to be looking at Primeval Peril, which was also part of the campaign as like a separate additional game. This used to be print and play during the original Sleeping Gods, but then they decided to make it into a full-fledged box game. So we'll take a quick look at this towards the end of the video. But first, let's go ahead and dive into Sleeping Gods Distant Skies. All right, so first you can see is you got this nice gold embossed printing on the name. It's a pretty heavy box. Out on the back with all the contents, you got the atlas, the map, all the characters, cards, the chest, just like how it was in Sleeping Gods. But they did update some of the mechanics of the game, specifically combat, so that excites me to kind of take a look and see what's inside here. So open it up. All right, so first thing we're gonna have is a completed quest box that you can put together. So as you complete your quest, you can put them in here, take them away so you don't worry about playing them. Because this is just like the original Sleeping Gods where you can kind of play as much as you want, stop, put it away, and then pick it back up where you left off. And then you kind of can replay the campaign over and over again to get really cool new story outcomes. So I think this is probably the atlas. So we'll just look at the first few pages here to kind of give you the rundown of the spaces, how they look, the artwork. So the original Sleeping Gods was all on ship in the ocean or in the water with islands. This one is all in the air on an airplane. So you have a lot of mountains and stuff. A bunch of different icons. There's some plane icons here. Some these bits here are for like story bits that will take you to the booklet. And then on the top, you'll see like arrows that point you to what page you need to go to. So like, just to show you, it says page 11, we'll find 11, and boom, there it is. Just to kind of show you how maneuvering around the map would work. And then now you're here, and if you ever want to go back to 3, you just go down this way, or you can keep going up to where you go to 12 or 17. So I'm not gonna go too far into this because I want you to explore it on your own, at your own pace, but that's kind of the quick rundown of the atlas and how it works and what it looks like. So next we have Thunderstorm Isle. This is one of the storybooks. I think this is for like a little expansion that might come with the game. I don't remember exactly what comes, but I'm not going to show you too much. Just it's just a bunch of different story beats. Has a number, it tells you where to go. And there might be some like combat encounters and stuff. So that's kind of one of the things that comes in the game. Then you have introduction here, which is kind of, okay, so this is just a start. So instead of starting on the atlas right away, this is kind of like a how to play. Shows you how to organize all your components here. The different cards, how they look, the quest cards and so forth. You have an achievement list here. So in the main game, as you go through the story, you'll have achievements that you check off, and it looks like it actually comes with its own just explorable map as an introduction. So that's really cool. I like to see that in games. You get an airplane figure, you get a Claire figure here. Shows you how to set up the game, all the components. Nice little comic book story bits here. I won't go too far into there. Shows you all the tutorials on how to do challenges in combat. Some more story bits we won't look at too long. And then from that point going into the main game. So, and then looks like there's like a little game turn or quick reference guide on the back. So we'll go ahead and put these back into here for whoever decides to play this copy. And then this looks like, yeah, so this is the storybook itself for the main game. So like if I just go to the first page here, storybook written by Ryan and Mallory, his wife. You have a map of the Western Lands and Wandering World. So Wandering Sea, I believe, is where Sleeping Gods took place. So, and then there's all the different icons for story bits. So we won't really look at that because that's obviously spoiler territory. I want you to explore that for yourself. And then the rule book. So quite a bit of books, but obviously you don't have to look at them all at once. So here's the main rule book on how everything works, all the different components, and the turn overview, how you play the game. I know it plays relatively similar to the original Sleeping Gods, but obviously there's a lot of new mechanics and changes, so kind of leave that for you to explore when you get your own copy. But yeah, nice laid out book. Ryan Lockett's books rule books are usually pretty good. So let's take a look here. Some of the tokens. So you get these blue triangles, little blood drops for combat. So standees, got the dice. Open those up. These nice marbled, like slightly marbled red dice. Very nice. Looks good. Always my favorite thing. Metal tokens or coins. Yeah, they just feel great. Oh, I love these. These ones are actually really cool. They have like, yeah, they're beveled a little bit here. It's really cool. All right, some minis. It's got a few different ones. Some of these I think were part of the game found, like stretch goals and stuff. So this copy, and I believe the copies we have in store are all from the game found, so they have the extra bits. So you have the extra characters there. The original Sleeping Gods actually didn't have miniatures like this. So I'm excited to see how they are incorporated into this version. You have that main character, Claire, I believe was her name. And then a really fun one here. Hold on, actually, there's also what looks like a stopwatch. And then here's the plane. So the original had that ship, and this actually looks like, kind of put it together here. So yeah, you got the pre-painted plane, and then like the base that it'll go on. And it actually looks like a mountain, has like a little bit of the ice crested on it. That's pretty cool. Very nice. So a few additional minis than last time. I remember last time I had like a little metal ship, which was really cool. Okay, so quite a bit of components here. So this is the quest box, I believe, of all the cards. So I'm not going to open any of these because a lot of these are going to be events and stuff for the story. So this is for you to explore as you play the game. I don't want to accidentally spoil something, but it comes again in this nice little chest with a little magnetized bit here, like the original Sleeping Gods. These are probably to put the miniatures in. You have the journey logs for all the characters, with the maps on the map on the back. Kind of shows you all the different locations here. And again, this is a replayable game, so there's a bunch of these, so you can play it multiple times. And then, token sheets. That one came out pretty nice. Some character sheets and items and so forth. More characters. Looks like some kind of exploration for discovered locations. And then, yeah, they want to punch out nicely, so that's good. And then there's the plane, and instead of the metal tokens here, they have the punch outs too. So yes, this was definitely the game found edition. So yeah, I'll go ahead and put that back in. Let's see, so we have these cards. We'll take a quick look at these because, again, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's just so fun to look at it all. Okay, so these have like the same art. These are kind of like those, the event cards that were in the original Sleeping Gods. You have to draw, like you could use them for the test and stuff. You would draw them and you would add. So, very cool. A lot of them have the same artwork. So these are some of the additional of these, and then some other cards here, it looks like. Some more of those. And you got enemy buffs. So I guess that's some of the difficulty scaling you can do. Just buff up the enemies. Excuse me. And then some adventure cards. So these are for the locations, it looks like. Let me just... Okay, so it looks like this is for the tutorial maybe. And then there's different quest cards as well. I'm not going to show the other side of these. I'll show like maybe the first one here just to see what's on it. So like here's a spear that you can get in combat. Very cool. But the rest of these I will let you find out. And then the last stack of cards that are not in the big box, which I would imagine are for the most part free game. It's going to be numbered 1 through 73, and I think it's enemies. Yeah. So we'll just kind of take a look at the first few maybe, or first one. So you got like a horse warrior here, and then it has their combat grid here, and like as you do damage and stuff, you'll overlay these with the blood icons, and it tells you how you do damage or you get rid of stuff, kind of like the original. Let's see here, number 2. Okay, kind of the same thing. So yeah, so these are the enemy cards. So if you don't want to be spoiled on what kind of enemies are in the game, other than those first 2 that I just showed you, just keep them face down until it's your time to draw them. So awesome. That's about it. That comes in Sleeping Gods Distant Skies, at least everything that I can like thoroughly show you without spoiling. So let's go ahead and get this all cleaned up, and then we will make our way over into Primeval Peril in 3, 2, 1. All right. So here we are. Sleeping Gods Primeval Peril, a much smaller version of Sleeping Gods that can be played in just a few hours instead of like the 20-hour campaign that you would get with Distant Skies or the original. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what's inside. Okie doke. Slide the top off here. So you're probably going to see very familiar things like the Atlas book. So what's different about this one though is the book will have the locations, but it also includes the enemies on the page itself, so you don't have extra cards for them. So they're just like the first few pages there, so you can kind of get a look at what it looks like. But this is kind of like an Amazonian swamp, river kind of theme. So we're back on a boat with this one. But that's all I'm going to show you with that. There's not as much in Primeval Peril, so everything I show you is something, so we're only going to show a little bit. But here's the rulebook and storybook. So it has all the rules, just like in regular Sleeping Gods. Turn overview events. This one plays, I think, more similar to the original than Distant Skies, but it might use the same combat system as Distant Skies, is what I remember reading, I think. So, and then this has the storybook on the back. So instead of having a separate book, it's just in the back of the rulebook because it is a much smaller experience. So the rulebook and storybook. And you got your journey log, which has the map and all the different things you need to keep track of. So just a few sheets of that so you can play it multiple times. Then we have our punch outs. So we have the ship board here, more tokens. It's just called boat. Just kind of pops out like that very, very easily. The characters that you will have in this game, I believe there's only 5 of them. So another one there. Bunch of tokens. Okay, and then instead of a miniature, you actually get a little boat standee, which is totally fine. The price point for this one, I think, is like $40, maybe 50, somewhere around there. So it is definitely cheaper than its older brother, but still fun. The same tokens we saw in Distant Skies, like the blood tokens and the experience tokens, I believe. So we'll leave those there. Standees. dice. So instead of those 4 red dice, we have 1 red die and 1 green die in this game. Again, with that like nice marbled, slightly marbled look, but they look nice, easy to read. And then we have these tokens here, whether it's experience or money. I think they're the metal tokens that are in Distant Skies. They're similar. And then we got more baggies, and then cards. So yeah, this is a much smaller experience. It doesn't have the chest, a quest chest or anything. Honestly, I don't even know if there's any cards that are specific to quests. I think it's all just in the book itself. I think it might be a little bit more of a linear game. But you have event cards here. Oh, hey, no, I'm sorry. There are quest cards here. There's actually quite a few. So, very good. But anyways, you can take a look here. There's the event cards. Just look at one of them. So, you know, you draw, something bad happens, something good happens. A fever, oh no. So, yeah, just to kind of take a quick look at those. The artwork, we won't really dive too deep into them. Let's get this other stack open, because there are combat cards in here as well as quest cards, it looks like. So that's all combat. And this is actually a numbered combat card, so I'll keep them numbered. And there's actually numbers on this side as well. So what we'll do is all the numbered cards will go together. Boom. I believe that is our quest deck. So you can kind of take a look at the first one. Different items that you can get, maybe the first 2, fishing pole and so forth. So that's a stack of cards. I would presume to need to stay in order. And then you have a stack of combat cards here. Have different combat weapons, like a machete, a whip, and so forth. So this one has more of like a Indiana Jones feel to it. Like, you know, deep into the swamps of the Amazon looking for treasure. So all of them have their own distinctive themes, which is really cool. Like, they all have like the same mechanics, and honestly, everything Red Raven makes, for the most part, has been really good. Really like Ryan Lockett. He's a nice dude. We've met him one time before, a few times before. But yeah, so that's everything that comes in Primeval Peril. So let me go ahead and get this packed up, and then we'll do some closing thoughts. Awesome, so we looked at Sleeping Gods, Distant Skies, and Primeval Peril today. Really cool looking games, can't wait to dive into them. I actually have Primeval Peril at home that I've been itching to play. I have not gotten Distant Skies just yet, but we do actually have it available on our online store, in-store, so I'll leave the links below for you guys to check that out, or you can stop into the store and say hi, check out what we have as far as this, Primeval Peril, and the original Sleeping Gods, and all the expansions. So thank you again for watching this unboxing video today with us. We really appreciate your viewership, and if you like this video and want to see more content, go ahead and like and subscribe. Every little bit helps, and we'll have more unboxings and other fun videos in the future for you. I'm Patrick at Battlegrounds Game Center. See you next time.